Hello everyone, welcome to Calling Glass, welcome to the pod, welcome to the club. My name is Alvaro, as always. And today in the podcast, we got a game 7. Let's see it.
We're going to game 7, baby. Game 7. Game 7.
So, I'm sure you have seen the Sasa Pachulia meme everywhere, but it's amazing meme. It's an amazing meme. And I cannot think of a better way, of a better ending for these playoffs 2025. They have been amazing with ups and downs, with teams coming back. So many buzzer beaters and game winners. It's been amazing playoffs, the best playoffs I have seen in a long time. And what a way to finish them with a game 7 with the two best words in the sports history, game 7. So yeah. And to start, I'm going to talk actually about game 6 and about maybe a bit about like the last games that I have seen of these teams, Oklahoma City Thunder and Indiana Pacers. First thing that I want to mention is the turnover comparison between game 5 and game 6. Because in game 6, it was key. Game 6 keys is the turnovers, is that in game 6, OKC had 21 turnovers, Indiana only 10, but in game 5, it was flipped. It was OKC who had just 11 and Indiana 22. So that seems like a key to see in game 7 who will lose the most possessions. What else? Tyrese Halliburton's injury, the calf strain. To me, he looked pretty good on game 6. Maybe he was not forcing that many penetrations, maybe not forcing that many shots, but in general, he looked fine. He started a bit like, I think he missed 2 3-pointers, but then he made the following 2. So I think it was fine. And it's true that he didn't play that much. He didn't have to. In the last quarter, he didn't play. He was smiling in the bench. He played in total 24 minutes, which is good. Hopefully he's a bit better even for game 7. But he seemed fine. So this is something that I was thinking before the game. And I thought the series was over, you know? And I thought it was going to be over because OKC is the best team in the regular season. Indiana had made a great playoff run. Now their star gets a bit injured, and it's okay. And the series finished in 6 games, which has been good enough. I thought that the whole narrative was good enough, but now it's even better. We have a game 7, which is amazing, unexpected, I would say, even for me, because I thought, I predicted that Indiana will win in 6, but after game 5, I was like, okay, it's not going to happen. And I actually thought that they will lose in 6, like I said, because of Halliburton injury. Anyway, next point that I want to mention is TJ McConnell. This guy is incredible. I don't know how he's able to attack and penetrate the best defense in the league. And not only the best defense in the league, the best, especially exterior, like defense in the perimeter defense in the league. And not only the best perimeter defense in the league, but the best perimeter defense in the league in many years. That's what Oklahoma is. And then there is a guy, a 6-foot guy, not a good 3-pointer, that is just cutting through defense and shooting this little. It's not even a mid-range; it's like a short-range jumper. Incredible, phenomenal, and also his defense and his energy has been great. And I talked about him in the last podcast that he mentioned already. He made a career out of just pressuring the whole court, and yeah, he's making more than a career. Who else is playing great for Indiana? Mr. Obi Toppin. 13 points per game in these finals, 6 rebounds, 39% from 3-point land, shooting 5.5. Honestly, when he shoots, it looks like it's going in always. And all these in only 24 minutes. But we have seen him already end some games. Most of the games, actually. He's playing either the 5 position, the small 5 or 4. And yeah, he's playing great. Amazing. Obi Toppin. What else? who's been weirdly good for Indiana. It's true that only playing 2 games, but it's Tony Bradley, their third center, has played some good minutes, small minutes, but I have said this before. I feel like if Indiana has a weakness, is their size. If you take out Holmgren and Hartenstein, there is no one above 6'6" in the lineup. And usually they play with only one big in the lineup, so it's like Holmgren and then 4 guys that are under 6'6". Shea is like 6'6". Who else? Caruso, same, 6'5". Dort, 6'2". Wallace, I don't even know, 6'3". Very small, even though they are good in defense. And I feel like the protection of the rim is good with Holmgren or with Hartenstein, but size is not their strength, and I think it shows in terms of rebounding. And I think Tony Bradley, I think that's why he's playing instead of Thomas Bryant. I think Indiana noticed this, and they prefer a bigger dude, more like usual center against this OKC Thunder. I have said this before about Thunder against Denver. I thought that Denver hurt them by their size, like in rebounds and second opportunities, getting some fouls. And yeah, and I have to say that I was looking at some plus minus stats, and Tony Bradley from Indiana, even though he played only 2 games, so I don't have much data to base this, but in these 2 games, he has acquired the best plus minus of the Indiana Pacers. He has a +5 when he's on the court, the 8 minutes that he plays. So it's not, again, not much to see, not much to compare, but still, this is something to just say. And it's interesting because I look also at the plus minus of OKC, and guess who has the highest plus from OKC? It is their third, let's put it this way, center, which he's not a center, but that's the position that he plays. Kenrick Williams, he has a +5. Kenrick Williams has a +5. Tony Bradley has a +4.5. But yeah, also funny as well. He played in the 6 games. Kenrick Williams, 8 minutes per game, +5. It's funny because they are like the opposite center. One is like the big dude, slow, kind of like playing the post, getting rebounds, and the other one is like the stretch 5, more active. Small ball 5. It's funny. Now, if I look at players, like who is the second best player in plus minus from OKC is Chet Holmgren with a +4, and from Indiana, it is Tyrese Haliburton with a +3.5. What else I noticed from these past games, not only Game 6, but Game 5, and I don't know if Game 4, it's that Indiana is completely taking away the catch and shoot opportunities for OKC. What I mean by this is that when someone, usually Shea or J-Dub, is kicking the ball out to an open wing, Indiana is not letting them shoot. It's running to block the shot or to running top speed to not let them get the shot off. Of course, you shouldn't do this in general because that means that it's very easy to attack you from the bounce, right? Like it's going to be a foul, or it's going to be you can re-attack and then penetrate and kick it out to someone else and create even a bigger advantage. And this makes the whole defense stay in rotation. Like it's difficult to defend like that, but they decided that this is what they're going to do. They're not going to let the secondary players of OKC receive catch and shoot. They want them to put the ball in the floor. And I feel like it's working. And I have checked and have looked at some stats. And this is what I saw. I checked catch and shoot percentages of the full season, not only playoffs, not only finals, for OKC versus pullover percentage. So catch and shoot, from a pass, pullover, from some dribbles. After a couple of dribbles, shooting. And it's interesting what I found. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he mostly shoots after dribble. of course, it's always harder to shoot after dribble than after a pass. So Shea, from 3-point, from the 3-point line, he shoots 47 from catch and shoot and 35% from pullover. J-Dub, 40% from 3, catch and shoot, 31% pullover. Lou Dort, 42%. He moves down to 35%. But this is interesting. He shoots 5 3-pointers per game at catch and shoot, only 1 after dribbles. Caruso, this is kind of crazy. 38% catch and shoot, 22% pullover. Wallace, 37 and 26 pullover. And Aaron Wiggins is the only one who maintains his level a little bit. He goes from 39 of catch and shoot to 36 of dribble, out of dribble. In the other hand, Indiana, for example, Haliburton, which he shoots also from pass, but he also dribbles and shoots a lot. His catch and shoot, he's shooting at 43%, pullover 37%. Nesmith, 45, he goes to 34, so he goes lower, which is normal. Siakam, 39% of a pass, 37 pullover, which is pretty consistent. Nembhard, he's not a great shooter, but we have seen him make 3-pointers in the face of someone after dribbling. We saw it against Shea in game 1. Amazing. He's shooting 30% of catch and shoot, 27% out of dribble, which isn't almost the same. Topping, he goes down 38 to 29. But yeah, in total, we see that Indiana's players are a bit better out of shooting after dribbles than OKC, especially Caruso and Wallace. So I think this tactic of Indiana of like just running another thing than shoot, even which probably makes them be a bit more, have to rotate more and a bit coordinate better. But it's working out, and I feel like OKC's players are not that good with the bounce. They are specialists in 3-and-D, literally. 3-pointer or defense. They are not great at creating from the bounce. And I think it's a good choice that they are doing, Indiana doing that. What else Indiana is doing well defensively? They are doubling Shea, but not when he receives the ball. Only when he's attacking already the rim and getting closer. And they're usually doubling from Shea's blind spot, so from behind. Someone is coming. We saw it with T.J. McConnell. He stole the ball, but yeah, they are forcing him to kick it out and making it uncomfortable, and it's working out well. Of course, this means that they need to start to move around in defense and again go to. So like the defense, they're going about. What they're doing is that they are not letting Shea play 1-on-1 easily, and they are not getting, and they are forcing their guys to play 1-on-1 by not letting them shoot. That's pretty much what they're doing, and it's working out well. Also, I feel like OKC is not used to this. Usually it's Shea either shooting the 1-on-1 or Shea kicking out to an open 3-pointer. And they are not used to the other guys to have to receive the ball and put it in the ground and dribble and create for others. More than I need to say is that Indiana is playing. The offense that Indiana is playing is one of the best that I have seen in many years. It's amazing. They remind me of the San Antonio Spurs beautiful game. It's incredible, in my opinion, how they are playing. There has been, I remember 2 plays from Game 6. One is this steal that Haliburton does, and then they start a transition that they scored. Nembhard scored a 3-pointer, and they do this without dribbling the ball, like 3 passes without dribbles or 2. Which ends up in a wide open 3-pointer. Amazing. This is the dream of any coach in history. And then there is another one that Haliburton grabs the rebound in his own paint, or maybe his own 3-pointer, and he passes the ball to the other paint area of the OKC where Ben Shepard receives it and finishes in a layup. An amazing pass. And yeah, an amazing pass, really. It's amazing what Haliburton passing ability. The passing ability of Haliburton is amazing. I still want to say that obviously OKC's defense is incredible. It's the best defense, like I said, it's the best defense that I have seen in many years as well. and and they rotate, they help, they put hands. Like, I'm not trying to take away anything from OKC, and they are the clear favorites also to this game 7. What else I wanted to mention? I wanted to talk about Rick Carlisle because, well, by the way, I didn't know this, but he's the oldest coach. Also, have said in many places now, but everyone probably knows already. But he's the oldest coach to coach in an NBA Finals, which seems weird because he's not at all. At least he doesn't look like. But Carlisle is the same coach. Well, if Indiana wins Game 7, Carlisle could become the coach of the 2 best runs in playoffs histories. Why do we say this? Because this run of Indiana is amazing. They come from being fourth in the East, which is not. They were not favorites at all. I don't know how their odds were against the Knicks and against Cleveland. Probably, I don't even know against Milwaukee even, but they probably had not the best odds against Cleveland and against Knicks, and definitely not against OKC. And here we are. And it reminds me, or the other best run that we have seen, at least lately, is the run of the Mavs of Nowitzki in 2011. This was also incredible. This Dallas team ended at 3rd in the West, and they went and they beat in first round the Brandon Roy Portland Trail Blazers. Then they went to beat the Los Angeles Lakers 4-0, a sweep. The Lakers were the current champions of the NBA with Kobe and Pau. Then they beat in the conference finals the young OKC with Russ, Durant, and Harden. And then in the finals, they beat 4-2 the Miami Heat of LeBron, Wade, and Bosh their first year. And Nowitzki in those finals, he was the MVP, and he did he was amazing. I remember this is one of the best runs. There is a mini movie in YouTube that is amazing of these runs of these games, the finals, and I remember it very vividly. And Nowitzki in these finals, he scored 26 points. He got 10 rebounds and 2 assists. And the second best player from Dallas was Jason Terry with 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. So yeah, maybe if Indiana pulls this off, Carlisle could become the historical run coach. Now, what keys do I see? What are my keys for Game 7? One of them I mentioned before, the shooting, but yes, I think the shooting, especially the secondary guys shooting for OKC, especially, is going to be key. If Dort, Caruso, Wallace knock down threes, usually OKC wins. If they don't, they lose. Indiana is always the secondary score because everyone scores in Indiana, but in OKC not. And I think this is key. I look at the numbers of this finals specifically because Aaron Wiggins, for example, when I see him in the court, he's not missing 3-pointers. He's hitting 48% from 3, shooting 3.5 per game in these finals. Dort, 52% on 5 attempts in these finals. Amazing. Meanwhile, Shea is just at 29%, but he's also shooting tough step backs. Jalen Williams, this is interesting, is only at 26%. And he's shooting 4 3-pointers per game. If I'm Indiana, I'm letting him shoot. Because it's true that J-Dub's playoffs has been going from less to more in the way that he started a bit slower. Against Denver, I remember he was not that good, but his finals are being amazing. He scored 40 in the game 5, and he's great at attacking the rim. Amazing. And he finishes a bit like with the off leg and like extension, a bit like Steve Nash style. I already saw, I'm mixing a bit themes, but I saw that he was very comfortable attacking Nesmith, and they changed during Game 6 and they put Siakam on him, which he did a bit of a better job. And maybe I feel like that's how the game is going to start. I feel like Siakam is going to be directly in Jalen Williams straight away. And I think maybe this bad shooting from Williams makes him attack more the rim. And having a bigger guy, especially bigger guy than him, Siakam, maybe it's better to defend him. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see for Game 7. What else is a key, in my opinion, or what else I saw in Game 6 is that I noticed something weird. Actually, in Game 5, I noticed something very weird. Is that OKC dominated this game, and I felt like their offense was a bit faster, or at least more direct. The, subjectively, I felt like they were like going quicker, attacking quicker, and this was actually making Indiana struggle a bit, getting more tired than usual, and not being able to get out in transition as quick as they used to, or maybe not being able to get out, maybe yes as quick, but not as efficiently as they were because they were more tired as usual. So looking at this, also, by the way, sorry, I saw that in Game 6, Indiana actually didn't pressure full court. Usually, Indiana has been pressuring full court. Game 6, they decided not to, and I think this is related to that. They were able to maybe be a bit more energetic in their court in defense and then get out in transition with more energy at the same time. So yes, this is something that I saw, and then I went to look at the stats, and I looked at not pace but average time until shot. So how many seconds each team is taking until they shoot. And I found something very interesting. There is two stats here, which is like how many seconds a team takes until they shoot from a made basket. So when the other team scores and they need to inbounds, how many seconds it takes for them to shoot the ball. And then I also looked, or the other stat here is how many seconds after a miss, how many seconds from a defensive rebound until they shoot the ball. And I saw that a stat. Well, I will say it. You can take your own conclusions, but it's very interesting. And when I look at after a make, the team that has played the fastest after a make has lost all the games. So saying it the other way around is like the team that after a make, after they inbounds the ball, takes the longest seconds to shoot the ball has won all the games. This is kind of not intuitive at all because we have seen that both of the teams, their characteristic is that they play very quick, but we are seeing that the team that after a make plays a bit slower wins the game. Now, does it happen the same after a miss? No. After a miss, not like that. After a miss, something that I found as well is that there is a sweet spot, which is in between 10.5 seconds to 11. And the team who is closest to that spot to shoot the ball after a miss, they won every game as well. Except the last game, which they were both in that range. Every other game, there was a team that was way off from above or from below, from 10.5 to 11 seconds. They were sometimes from below or to above. The team that was in that range or the closest won all the games. Actually, Game 6 is a good example because both teams were in that range, but Game 4 and Game 5 are an example of the opposite. Indiana lost both games, but it's funny because in Game 4, after a miss, Indiana took 12.4 seconds to shoot the ball, which is slow, and they lost. In Game 5, they maybe overcorrected. I don't know what happened in Game 5. I was saying that I felt like they were... I feel like OKC was attacking faster. Maybe it was that... I don't know what happened, but Indiana was shooting in 8.8 seconds, which is way too fast, and they lost the game after a miss. Meanwhile, OKC in both of these games stayed 11.4 and 10.7, and they won both games. So this is also interesting. I don't know what conclusions to get out of this. You don't know why. Maybe there is another factor that is making teams play faster or slower, but it's interesting, especially the first one that I said. After made, the slower team wins, which is kind of funny. Now, what else? Last thing I want to say about this Game 7 keys. Well, it's not a key, but I look at the stats out of the Game 7s in history. There has been 19 in the NBA, in which 15 of those Game 7s have gone to the local team, to the team playing at home. So 15 and 4. and I'm gonna say a bit like the last Game 7s that we had. It's been in 2016 with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. Actually, the team on the road won this game, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they won with LeBron James. This is these are the finals that Cleveland came down from a 3-1 series. Then we have as well in 2013 Miami Heat versus San Antonio Spurs. The Heat win it at home as well with LeBron. 2010 Lakers versus Celtics, amazing finals with Pau being the best player in Game 7, and they won at home. 2005 San Antonio Spurs versus Detroit Pistons. Spurs pull it out at home, and they win as well. I'm not gonna go back because this is from 2000 more or less. But yes, having said that, the favorites of course are the OKC because they're playing at home. And they are actually overall they have been like in the whole season in the playoffs they have been a better team. But I said in the beginning or last in the preview that I thought Indiana will win this in 6. Obviously that's not happening. That didn't happen. I actually thought after Game 5 that they might lose at home in 6. The logical thing is to say that OKC will win, but there is nothing logical going on with these Indiana Pacers, and I think I need to stick with it. I also want this to happen, and I cannot predict something that I just feel like I don't want it to happen. So I think my preview still is that Indiana wins it. I don't know how, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna preview for this series, for this final game. And now, before that I end the podcast, I want to actually return to a segment that I haven't done in these playoffs, but I think I'm gonna do it now. And it's I know what you did. I know what you did the summer of 1994. More specifically, I know what you did the 22nd of June, which is when this Game 7 will take place. So Sunday, 22nd of June. And 22nd of June of 1994 was the day that the Houston Rockets won their first ever NBA championship. It came in a brutal Game 7 against Patrick Ewing's New York Knicks. Hakeem Olajuwon was unstoppable in that game. He scored 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks. And they won it 90-84. Also, this was important because it was the first season that Jordan was out, obviously. He won the first 3 championships. Then he went to play baseball. And that's when Rockets won the first championship in 94. And then they repeated in 95. So this was a key event. As well, this season, Hakeem's won MVP, Finals MVP, but he also won regular season MVP. And yeah, like I said, they were the only team that won during Jordan's era because he was actually not. So yeah, this is something interesting that happened the same day that we'll have this Game 7 final. And to end the podcast, I also return to another segment, the trivia, the game. I asked an artificial intelligence to ask me a question about the finals in history, and the question was, who are the top 5 players with the most rebounds in the finals history from 2000 only? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to guess the top 5. I'm gonna give myself 8 tries. So I'm gonna say the 8 players that I think have the most rebounds since 2000 in the finals, and then I will check because I don't trust. It has given me errors before this AI, so I need to check it myself in Basketball Reference. But yeah, that's how it's gonna go. I'm gonna guess. You can guess at home, and I will see how many I get right. So most rebounds since 2000 in NBA Finals. Here I'm gonna go by volume, obviously, more than yeah. So volume matters. I'm gonna guess LeBron James. I'm gonna guess Tim Duncan. That's my second guess. I need to get the 5, and I give myself 8 tries. I'm gonna guess Draymond Green. That is difficult. I'm gonna guess. So yeah, I'm thinking about Shaquille O'Neal. Players that played out of finals. From the Warriors, I already said green. I'm gonna guess Ben Wallace. He played 2, but I don't know if that's enough. I'm gonna guess. I'm thinking about more Warriors because they played out of finals, but their center, it's only Draymond Green. I'm thinking like players that play more than one final. I'm gonna guess Pau Gasol. He played actually 3 finals. Kevin Garnett. And one more. Maybe I should go just by like amount of yeah, I'm gonna say why not Klay Thompson. I know he's not a big rebounder, but he's played many times and probably he has got more rebounds than Curry, and he's played many games. So yeah, that's my final guess. Those 8 guesses. I don't remember them now. I think I say LeBron. I will check it now and I will tell you how did it go. I have it here. I missed actually. I don't know why I didn't guess this guy. I didn't think he got that many rebounds, but I missed. I'm gonna say it in order. Number 1, I got it. LeBron James, 561 rebounds in 55 games. Number 2, Tim Duncan, 382 rebounds in 29 games. Number 3, Shaquille O'Neal, 343 rebounds in 26 games. Number 4, Draymond Green, 300 rebounds in 33 games. I got all these 4. Number 5, I didn't say it, and I didn't think he will be this high. It is Kobe Bean Bryant with 2011 rebounds in 37 games played. Yeah. Actually, number 6 is interesting. Tristan Thompson, 22 finals played, 199 rebounds. Number 7, I didn't say it either. It's Stephen Curry. I actually thought that Klay might have more. So Stephen Curry, 196 rebounds in 34 games. Number 8, I said it, Pau Gasol. Number 9 is Chris Bosh, 10 Kawhi, 11 Wade. Ben Wallace is very low because he only played 12 games. He's there. Klay Thompson is there, but not that many rebounds. And yeah, Kevin Garnett, very low also. He's the 20th, but he only played 13 games. Yeah, I guess it matters a lot how many games you played. Okay, so I lost this one, but it's fine. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoy the podcast. I hope you're enjoying these playoffs. I hope you will watch, or at least watch something about this Game 7 because it's amazing. And that's all for today. That's probably this is the last podcast probably of the season. Let's see what I do in summer. And that's all. Enjoy. Have a nice day. Bye bye.